Green was very suspicious, so we ejected him. Was he the actual imposter? And is this really BeamNG.drive? Find out in this video. Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at the most suspicious mod I have ever seen. This is the Crewmate. Yep, this is the Among Us BeamNG.drive crossover everyone has been waiting for. Now, one thing that's unfortunate is when you spawn it up, the camera no longer works at all. So you try to move the camera, you can't do it. So if you actually want to take a close look at him, you have to get the camera off of the vehicle, or in this case, the little Among Us dude, and then we can actually see him properly. Now here's the funny thing. Yes, he is technically the crewmate from Among Us, but I don't like that name. It's so impersonal. So he is now officially known as Mr. Among Us. So what do we do with Mr. Among Us? Well, why don't we crash him with a truck? So I'm going to put him way down the road right here. And then we'll go ahead and get my pickup truck and go for a little bit of a drive. Now, I actually want to boot him into the air, so we got to time this just right, where I go right before I teleport them, respawn them up in the air, and then hopefully we actually are able to hit them like so. Oh, that was perfect. I hit them right with the front of the truck, and they actually just kind of popped up into the air and barely cared that they were just whacked on by a pickup truck. You know what that means, right? They are definitely the imposters, so we must run them over with my truck. I can't run them over. I can't run them over. That's what imposters do. They make it impossible to run themselves over. Here we go. Try again. Come on, truck. Run him over. Don't just push him. There we go. Oh, no. I'm actually stuck. I'm trying to go in reverse. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can barely go forward to get unstuck. We need a beefier vehicle to run him over. Why are we running him over? I don't quite know. There's not exactly a way to eject him, so it's really the next best thing we can do. So we're going to get the rock racer, so we have a lot of ground clearance. We can hopefully easily climb over him, but that's actually not the case. We are just pushing him instead. Ooh, what'll happen if we push him into the water? Will he float? Or will he sink? I have absolutely no idea. So everybody, put your bets in now in the comments. What do you think? Sink, float, or neither? What would neither be? I don't know. Maybe he'll shoot off into space. All right, so he's somewhere under my truck, isn't he? Yes, okay. That's one way to get him underwater. We drown the truck in the process, but that's okay. We get rid of the truck. Oh, now we actually have to find Mr. Among Us because the camera's not going to automatically find him for us. Okay, he's bright red in the middle of the ocean. How hard could this be? This is hard. Oh, there he is. So the answer is, after being run over, he does not float. Just in case, though, let's go ahead and get a fresh one that has no damage and drop him into the water. And that one also does not float. I like how slowly he just sinks. It's like he was ejected into the ocean. All right, anyways, that's enough of that. We're going to be done running him over for now. So here's the next thing I want to test. I want to see, can we make him drive a car? So what kind of car would Mr. Among Us drive? How about a Vivas Race Sequential? Why? Because that's the car I feel like driving, so why can't he drive it as well? So I'll go ahead and stick him right into the driver's seat like so. Is he in? I can't tell. I think he's in. Hold on. Yeah, he is in there. He legitimately looks like he's going to drive a car. This is excellent. Okay, so let's drive the car and see what happens. So first, acceleration test. Does he stay in the seat? Oh, yeah. All right, braking test. Stays in the seat as well. Okay, next, evasive maneuvers test. They're going from left to right, doing a little bit of sliding. And does he stay in the seat? Yeah, he actually stays in the seat really, really well. Okay, that is great. So now the final test we need to do is a crash test, of course. We just got to wait for the right opportunity, though, because I want to go nice and fast before we do the crash. Here's a good straightaway. Going to be going hopefully about 80 miles per hour. Maybe we can get it to flip into the air a little bit. Oh, perfect. And what is going to happen to him? Well, he's going to completely ruin the car because we just lost the wheel. But he is still in the seat, safe as can be. That is impressive. All right, so now I have a new question. The roll cage obviously kept him nice and safe. What happens if the car squishes around him? So to do that, we need a car that doesn't have a roll cage. So what other car would Mr. Among Us drive? How about the Hirochi Sunburst? And we'll get the Police Interceptor. This'll be fun. That kind of worked, but not exactly. He's like a little bit off center. So let me go ahead and try to adjust the positioning just a bit. And is that better? Let's see. Yes, that is much better. He actually looks like he's driving, and I just had the dumbest thought ever. Okay, so Mr. Among Us is driving the police interceptor because somebody is very suspicious, and he truly believes they are the imposter. So they broke out the interceptor, and they're gonna find that imposter. And once they find them, they will capture them and eject them. Alright, so let's try crashing at the exact same place as last time, so hopefully we get some roof damage. Nice rotation. This is looking pretty promising. Just hit the roof, come on. Well, I definitely did the roll part of the no roll cage test, that's for sure. Unfortunately, the roof held on really well. Oh, but this time he's a little bit falling out of his chair. He didn't wear his seatbelt. Kids, this is why you wear a seatbelt in case of a car crash. So unfortunately, roof still very, very strong. So we'll try to crush it again, but it might be difficult to do because the car is not driving too well. But here we go. Come on, do something. Roll. I don't care what you do. Well, it almost worked, but not quite. The roof is still intact. There is an alternative plan, and it is very simple. The imposter doesn't want to get caught. So what he does is he gets a lead sled. I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is, lead sled smash police car from above. We got to make sure this is a good camera angle so we can see what happens to him as he gets crushed. All right, that is perfectly lined up. Here we go. We're going to use a lot of slow motion here just because I love seeing a roof get crushed in. And bam, come on, lead sled. You weigh a good amount. Crush that roof. Whoa, camera, what are you doing? Camera, don't do that. All right, so we have actually crushed the roof only a little bit. You know what? That's okay. We'll just keep throwing more lead sleds until eventually the roof has to cave in some. Unless, of course, Mr. Among Us is actually reinforcing the roof with his head. I think that's what's happening here. Yeah, because every other part of the car is severely crushed, except where he is. So there we go. In case of emergency, he does work as a roll cage. Not very well, mind you, because, yeah, let's go ahead and get the guy separate from the vehicle, and then, oof. That is what an imposter looks like right there. We were fooled. We trusted him with the police interceptor to find the imposter, but he was the actual imposter. All right, now I have a really stupid idea, okay? I'm not even going to tell you what the setup is. I'm just going to say, ta-da, it is the official Crewmate transport bus. So I got one crewmate of each color, and I put them into the bus. These are all the different colors that are available with the mod by default, but as always, you can choose whatever color you like. So why are they all in the same bus? I don't know. Do we really need a reason? Apparently, I'm being told we do need a reason. So, this is now the official backstory to Among Us, as far as I'm concerned. This is the bus that they are all taking to their very first mission into space. Well, there you go. We have a backstory now. Also, I guess the bus itself is not only the wheeled transport, it also has rockets attached to it. So that means once we get to the launch zone, they just launch the whole bus into space. So here's the launch zone. There is the jump. We are launching it into space. And what's going to happen to all the crewmates? They're all going to fly out of the bus, and there is a ton of wreckage all over the place. And as you can see, some of the crewmates have fallen out of the bus, but that's okay. We can always get replacement crewmates. And those replacements, however, they could be imposters. You never quite know now, do ya? So yeah, that was a very dumb and pointless thing to do, loading up the bus with crewmates. But I just thought it'd be fun to have all the colors all together, because whenever you're playing Among Us, you see all the colors all together. So it'd be weird if you only had one at a time, because then you can't be saying this one's suspicious and this one's not. Like right now, you could tell one of them's the imposter. I can tell, at least. Can you guys tell? There's one thing I'm noticing about one crewmate in specific that really is making me think, yep, that guy is definitely the imposter. Now I gotta try to do a crash that'll make it obvious which one is the imposter. And this is gonna be a pretty good crash. Jumping the crewmates out of the bus all over the place. That was beautiful. And after all that, Orange is still in the bus. That's how I could tell he was the imposter. Actually, I like the way they float and they just kind of dance their way slowly down to the ground. Look at that guy. He ain't doing it slowly at all. He is just going mad. They're actually almost just floating in place. They're spinning so fast. I wonder if you can get them spinning fast enough where they actually will be able to float. I don't really know how you'd be able to spin them, but it definitely seems like that would be a possibility, because the faster they spin, the better they seem to float. Very, very interesting physics we have going on here. And hey, Blue ended up back in the bus. They were also an imposter. I didn't want to tell you that, but they were. All right, so now let's go ahead and do something completely different. So to do that, let's swap up maps and head over to Utah, USA. And once again, we're skipping around a little bit with the setup here because it's a little bit repetitive, spawning up a bunch of Mr. Among Us's. But I have 10 of them spawned up, and they are perfectly positioned where we are now doing Among Us bowling. So the only question now is, can we get a strike? Let's see. They get so deformed when you're going this fast. Oh man, that was perfect. That is a strike, no doubt about that. Because we caused some serious damage going through there. That was beautiful. And yep, that was really the only reason I came to this map. I wanted to do some Among Us bowling, and it went perfectly. And you know what? I had fun with that, so let's go ahead and do it one more time. This time we'll try to change it up just a little bit. So we're going to go the same speed as before. I'm going to do it as much as I possibly can. And we're going well over 100 miles per hour, so this is going to be big. And boom! It actually was more interesting in slow motion, but I'm glad I got to see it in both real time and slow motion. And now we're not pushing any of them, so let's just let the car fall off the edge, and then bye car, have fun over there, and let's see where all of Mr. Among Us is. Alright, so most of them ended up around here, and they do have some damage to them. Some have actually turned out okay, like Orange. I don't know if he has any damage. Let's see. Orange is perfectly fine. How about oh no! He did not turn out fine. He got messed up. Yellow, how about you? Oh, Yellow did okay. Where did Red go? Because Red was the leading one. He was the one in the very front. He was like pin number 1 in bowling. I don't know where he ended up, though. It truly is a mystery that will never be solved. Because now, we're going to go to yet another map for another dumb test. And once again, we're going to be skipping the setup, so I'll be back once it's ready to go. Setup is complete, and I have a very simple question to answer. If you have a bunch of crewmates all piled up together like so, do they work at reducing the amount of damage a car receives? So first off, for comparison purposes, here's the car crashing into the wall at 30-ish miles per hour. Some pretty good damage onto it. So remember that in your mind, because we're going to go ahead and do it again, but this time we're going to smash into the crewmates. So again, going about 30-ish miles per hour. Get some slow-mo going on this one. We're actually going a little bit faster. Smashing through the crewmates, bashing them all over the place. And look at that. The hood is so much flatter, and the front bumper has not been crushed inwards. So yes, a bunch of crewmates do work very, very well as a way to stop a car from getting damaged. One more time, but this time with no slow motion and as fast as we can go. I like how they actually push you upward to reduce the impact to the vehicle. They work brilliantly. You can put them all around a racetrack and it would be safe enough to drive on. One more time. It really is just a beautiful explosion. I love that. Alright, one more time. I lied. I know I said I was done, but one more time. This time with a really heavy vehicle. So we're going to go with the T75 Cement Mixer because you can't get much heavier than this guy. So this time I think they're just going to get smooshed, aren't they? Going to get that slow-mo going again. And time to smoosh. Whoa! Look at that. They really did a good job of slowing down the truck still. That I did not expect. I thought they would just be shoved out of the way or smushed completely, but they really smushed down and made the impact less damaging. Wow. Okay, so here is the last dumb thing. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking leap of death, huh? That's where you're wrong. This is Among Us. We're going to space. Okay, once again, this required a little bit of setup, but here we have a space station. And I added one small addition to the space station. It's a cannon. How is it attached? Don't ask questions like that. This is just something really, really stupid I wanted to do. And it's as stupid as putting a clip at the start of the video and saying something like, Green was very suspicious, so we ejected him. Was he the actual imposter? And is this really BeamNG.drive? Find out in this video. And also, he'll just float in space basically forever. And here's something that's kind of funny too. For this thing to actually look really dramatic, what I had to do is make it in 16 times slow motion. Because if we were to do this at full speed, he would not go nice and slow through there. He would just be launching off just like that. I can't even keep up with him. He's going so fast. Anyways, back to the cannon, and let's finish this up with everyone's favorite map, Leap of Death. And I mentioned at the start of the video that the camera doesn't work when you spawn up a new crewmate, which is what you're going to do probably 90% of the time. But if you really wanted the camera to work, you could just replace what you already have, and then it kind of works. Like you see, it's very, very jittery looking, and then if you do very small movements like that, it's just like, what in the world is actually going on? To me, that's way worse than just having a camera that doesn't function right at all, because it's just complete chaos. And that's what Leap of Death is going to look like because, well, yeah. I guess if I wanted to, I could try to track him manually, but Chaos Camera is kind of fun. Here comes the chaos. Oh my goodness. Chaos Camera is too much chaos. We'll just track him manually. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. And remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by figuring out who the imposter is. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time. And also a fun story for anybody who has never been here for me doing a stream of Among Us. I don't know why, but every time I ask the chat who is the imposter, they've always been right. Legitimately 100% of the time they've been right. It's only like a dozen times it's happened, but they've always been right. It's crazy. Anyways, this guy stopped falling down Leap of Death, and I say, too bad, you're going back down for more, but Chaos Camera is here. Anyways, see you guys next time. I have no idea what's happening, guys. Chaos Camera really is chaos. Like, is he going faster? What is happening? He's not moving fast. It's just when he does a flip, the camera just freaks out. That's what's happening. When he flips around like that, it just bounces all over the place. Oh, that's weird.